is Dr. Sanusi Yakubu Ahmad, currently the provost of Kano State College of Education and Preliminary Studies, popularly known as C.A.S KANO. I was born and brought up in Bichi local government from 1967 to the year I transferred myself to the city for the search of knowledge. I attended Qiira Primary School, Bichi, then to Transit Secondary School, Bichi, from where I proceeded after passing an entrance examination of Science Secondary School Board. I attended Dawakin Kudu Science Secondary School, and from where in 1987 I proceeded to Kano State College of Art Science and Remedial Studies, of which I'm the provost now. Been a student there up to 1989. From there, I proceeded to Bayero University, Kano, where I obtained my first degree, Bachelor of Science, Economics. I got back to the same university in 1999, where I obtained to 2005, where I obtained my master's degrees in Economics, Industrial Economics. In between, decided to search for a job. Previously, I had been with the private sector under the company of Alhaji Muhammad Tukur Gadenya, where I decided to get employed with public service. I proceeded to College of Art Science and Remedial Studies as a staff in 2001, and from there I worked severally between agencies. I worked with the special advisor to the then Executive Governor, Mala Ibrahim Shekaru, on higher education, where I serve as coordinator, Kano University of Science and Technology and CAS, as a desk officer. The work we did then transformed the agency to a full-fledged ministry. That was the history of Ministry for Higher Education. I was part and parcel of the development of the current Ministry for Higher Education, where I serve as an assistant director, linkages and affiliation. From there, I started my study with Ahmad Bello University Zaria, PhD in Agricultural Economics. And in due course, I transferred my services from the Ministry of Kano State College of Arts and Science to Kano University of Science and Technology, Budil, as a lecturer. Within the same university, I serve as a level coordinator, head of Agri-Economics Department and Extension, and then director consultancy services of the university, where I renamed the consultancy services as KUTSIL, Kano University of Science and Technology Consults and Investment Limited. I opened up a number of opportunities for the university to gain profit, even though it's a public university, but I try to make it so much that the university invested much in such a way that it can start on its feet. While I was serving as the director KUTSIL, the Kano State Governor, Dr. Abdullah Umar Gandoji, deemed it appropriate to appoint me as the provost, Kano State College of Art Science and Remedial Studies. Within 1 year of my service, I used all the initiative I have to transform the college from the then monotechnic to a full-fledged tertiary institution that is now named as Kano State College of Education and Preliminary Studies. I'm happy to say that I'm the pioneer provost of the Kano State College of Education and Preliminary Studies. We did a number of activities. If time permits, I will let you know what it is all about. This is my current status and the little biography I have. It used to be, and for every journey there are obstacles. Such obstacles to your destination are termed as the challenges. And, I believe as a human being and somebody who is brought up in Nigeria, definitely educational attainment is full of challenges. But the major challenge I faced during that time, which is quite different from other people, probably would have to be that the nature of my parents. My father then happens to be a great ulama, C.A.S Yakubu Ahmad Bichi. At that time, you know how dogmatic they are and the perception they have on Western learning. He happens to show disagreement on my ability to pursue Western education. Well, perhaps it has to do with what transpired in olden days. If you happen to attend Western education, you happen to be one of the most immoral person in the society in terms of alcoholism, in terms of womanizing and what have you. Probably that's what made them to feel that that is a no-go area. Thank God with the relatives I have then, the senior brothers. I happen to be the last born in my house. I wish to use this opportunity to thank my major senior brother in the family, Sanusi Yakubu, Sheikh Sanusi Yakubu, who happens to convince my father that this is a modern day, and Alhamdulillah, while in the learning process, I got the acceptability from my father to continue, and I enjoy the support of him and the prayers of him and that of my late brother, Sanusi Yakubu. The second challenge had to do with what each and every Nigerian is facing as far as pursuit of knowledge is concerned. That is the incapacitation or inability to financially support self as far as the pursuit of knowledge is concerned. But I want to use this opportunity equally to thank my relatives again, especially the support I enjoyed from my cousin and equally my Illu, Alhaji Muhammad Tukur Gadenya, who supported me right from the grassroots to the level where I am today. Equal has been enjoyed from my brother, who equally I stayed together with, that is Tijani Yakubu. I will never forget the support of my family as far as the pursuit of knowledge is concerned. The other challenge has to do with the atmospheric environment where you find yourself, the conducive nature of the the environment where you pursue the knowledge. I could remember our struggle when I was in C.A.S KANO together with our friends, which we had to trek from the immediate college community to a neighboring station, that is Bata, where we trek. But I didn't term it as a challenge. It's a hustle. It's a struggle that every person pursuing knowledge will have to pass through. Not until youth like you now who want to get it on the platter of gold while sleeping. But, the struggle then made us to be friends, permanent friends, not temporary friends, and I enjoyed that. Equally, the choice of career itself happens to be my greatest challenge. I had wanted to be a medical doctor by passing through science secondary school, but I was, let me say, destined to be a manager. Not just only financial manager, but I became a human managerial person. And I became an agricultural economist. By virtue of choice of career, that is where I will have to thank my friend and the Vice Chancellor of Kano University of Science and Technology currently, who happens to force me to go into agricultural economics. And he supported equally me with the NGO that supported my pursuit of career. And Currently, I am serving under him as a staff before I joined Kano State College of Arts, Science and Remedial Studies. This and many number of challenges which time will not allow me to say them, but I want to tell you that the road to this kind of progress is not a smooth one. It's a very rough road, depending on how you find yourself. And it's not equal to everybody. It's just like a book. It has different chapters. So is the pursuit of this career is, and Alhamdulillah, we are where we are today, irrespective of each challenge we have to see. The successes in life, I want to say that Alhamdulillah, I am such a person that wear different caps. One, I told you my background, that I rose up from a religious family, a respected religious family. So some term me as a religious ulama. The fact that I didn't disregard the orientation I received from my parents, I still, as I'm talking to you, take myself to Malam, where I took the necessary hadith and Quranic teaching. So Alhamdulillah for that. The other cap I was wearing before even joining the academia is the business. I was in Quarry Market serving as a manager in my uncle's company, that is Alhaji Muhammad Tukur Gadenya, for the period of about 12 years, even before joining the public service. So sometimes me as a businessman, and I still have the skill that even after the retirement, I don't think I will get tired. I am part of parcel owning a consultancy outfit currently in conjunction with my friends. I have Gulf and Inland, I'm a director there. I am with Green Great Company in conjunction with my friend Professor Amin Suleiman. It's a success that now I can man and manage a farm as an agricultural economist. I can man and manage a company as a financial analyst. Remember, I'm a fellow financial analyst of Nigeria, and that gave me a great success in life. On the side of academics, I rose to the level of an associate professor now in agricultural economics. Not just only agricultural economics, but I'm distinct in one unique area that is new, that is a commodity chain analyst. Even in Ahmadu Bello University's area, I happen to be the pioneer candidate who researched on moringa tree, and not just only moringa, but its value chain. The study of value chain in agriculture is something very new and unique, and I happen to be the one that break that area. Now everybody is writing on that area, so I term it as a great success. As a leader, now a provost, after passing through so many stages of leadership, as I said, right from level coordinator, head of department, director, a manager of a company, now I'm a manager of an institution of great history. I term it as a success when I look at the pictures of my previous chief executives, whom one of them was even a chief executive when I was a student in the college. About 13 number of them, I happen to be the 14th provost or chief executive of that institution. When I look at them, I see how they progress in life after even leaving that chair. I term myself as a successful person because I believe the sky is my beginning from that chair. So having manning the institution is a great success to me. But not just only manning the institution, but transforming the institution from a monotechnic to a full-fledged college of education is one of the key success and legacies that I will leave in life as an administrator, and that Not just only that, I found the college with a limited space, and I expanded the college even to the rural area. Now we have the Kunchi campus, and we have a demonstration secondary school, diploma commercial secondary school under my auspices. The Youth Development Center is now an additional annex to Kano State College of Education and Preliminary Studies. I happen to link up with the college with Tertiary Education Trust Fund intervention, where now all my staff will be paid when they are going on training, and we are going to see some infrastructural developments that will be seen in the college. I happen to say that I'm the first provost that ensure student certificate will be received now, and with this and many number of successes can be attributed to a success of my life as far as the living of institution is concerned. On the side of the community, I happen to partake in many community development projects, ranging from my alma mater, the Science Secondary School, to University alma mater, to differential alma mater, and what have you. So I think the successes are enormous. And the major success, one can say that you have gotten married, you produce family, and probably your children are trying to imitate, emulate, and inherit you. This is one thing that I can say, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. This is a very difficult question to answer because when you talk about leadership in general, it's highly problematic as far as the current Nigeria is concerned. But if I can say, education sector is much more complex to lead compared to all other sectors in Nigeria, particularly the trend. I mean, the atmosphere is looking this way that you are leading a group of intellectuals, which you have to be intellectually an edge over those kind of people that you are leading. Remember, when they say people are intellectually upright, it means that they analyze every bit of your speech, they analyze every bit of your writing, they analyze every bit of your spending, they analyze every bit of your movement. But just with other leadership sector, I believe if you happen to be transparent and accountable, you are honest, you always put God before you. As they said, fear of God is the highest wisdom. So I believe all those obstacles in leadership, you are going to be above them. But to say it up is that one thing that is more complex as far as leadership in educational sector is concerned is the demand for education in the society. The demand for education is so huge and enormous that the students that you are admitting are so populous compared to the carrying capacity of the institution you have. So how do you manage such large number of crowd that are demanding for your service? And what you are trying to give that is more challenging is that you have to give more qualitative education. That quality education is the most complex issue as far as the issue of leadership is concerned. Those who taught us in the olden days what leadership of educational sector entails much more is that the leader has to be creative, innovative, focused, and transparent, accountable, and honest. When these factors are there, I think the challenges are minimal. But fundamentally, from the side of the government, administration of educational institution for quality education entails the provision of two things or two issues, personnel and funding. And Alhamdulillah, I can't say that I'm not free from challenges, but funding normally comes smoothly from the government, and we are trying to utilize the little we generate from the internally generated revenue. And that personnel, the government is trying to do its best to ensure that it gives us the necessary personnel, capable hands, that we do man the institution. Regarding the issue of advice that I need to give to the community, to the youth, as far as educational aspiration or educational acquiring is concerned, is that I want all of us to put this in mind that that education is a must. Even the UNICEF said it, that education for all, especially at basic level, is fundamental and is necessary. And that, but entirely I want to tell the community that there is a saying that goes this way, that if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. So it's very, very necessary that we must acquire education. And that from the saying of the Prophet, La faqara ba'da ilm, that there is no poverty after you acquire the necessary education, because it is the education that will give you the skills to empower yourself and to empower others. I'm happy to see where you are today, the young youth, the upcoming aspirational youth, with this entrepreneurial ability you have. Without having the necessary skill of education, you wouldn't have been where you are. You wouldn't have think entrepreneurially the way you are today. So your case study enough, or your case study is enough to advertise the relevance of education to the community. And I think if we equally got another saying that goes this way, if you allow people to be idle intellectually, it means that you are calling for a devil workshop, because they say an idle mind is a devil workshop. So the reason why you see people deviating in drug abusing, in unnecessary hooliganism activities, is because they lack the necessary skill that is being provided by education. So today, modern world, what I'm calling for is not just necessary education as far as certificate is concerned, but functional education. I'm urging the community to put forward all its resources, all its policy, all its plan, in order to ensure that community members have acquired what we call functional education. What functional education entails is that you acquire the certificate, but along the line of acquiring the certificate, you must acquire a particular skill that will make you useful to the society. So I will crown off the discussion with the saying of Imam Ali radiallahu anhu, who consistently been asked, between education and money, which one is better and which one an individual can pursue vigorously? He consistently say education, and he give, at every instant the question is asked, he will give a particular example, that he said the difference between education and financial acquiring is that when you acquire education, it will give you a light towards how you can acquire the finance and manage the finance. That when you acquire education, the education will continue to monitor your life, to monitor your activity. But when you focus on financial acquirance, you will be the one that will continue to monitor the financial stability. So I think with this, I can call on the society, the government, and the youth, upcoming youth, to ensure that They made all the necessary atmosphere conducive for quality education, functional education being acquired by the community necessary. This question is, let me start by thanking you for at least bringing what is inside my mind out for public notification. What do I want the society to look like, or what do I want to achieve as far as societal development or community development is concerned? And that I want to say that I am a legacy-bound professional. I'm a development economist, and that my whole aspiration is to ensure that my community developed. And there's no way the community can develop without the community being intellectually, educationally vibrant. And that is my aspiration for every youth. I want to see youth that are looking very, very conscious of themselves, of the society. I want to see youth that have the aspiration to develop the society more than the way we have catered the society for. I want to see youth I want to produce youth that produce positive in the society, that make positivities in life. And I want to see a situation where we are drug-free environment. These are the things that I sleep with and I raise up with. And this is the reason why even the institution I'm handling, the institution continue to campaign against drug abuse. And I think development of the society in all its ramifications is the biggest aspiration I have as far as life continuity is concerned. I want to use this opportunity to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that I'm just 53 years old, but I have achieved this number of great projects. And I want Allah to give me another opportunity to see that I have actualized my dreams before I die. I know if Allah can give me another 53 years, I will do a lot. And I thank all those who have made it possible to be where I am today, including relatives, family, and friends. Above all, I want to thank those people that I narrated their names, my parents, my senior brother, late Sanusi Yakubu, one of the upcoming businessmen in Kano, Muhammad. I want to say that if we can have people like him, at least quite a number of them in Kano, I think we will achieve what we are going to achieve, because it's just one tree that develops a number of branches in the family. I want to say that whatever I become, a professor or what have you, is the major input towards that development. Other friends and well-wishers who morally supported me, people like Alhaji Yahya Karami, people like Mala Ibrahim Karil, Alhaji Adam Yahya Mekipi, they have always been supporting, encouraging that they want to see development in the society. Let me finally crown it off with special thanks to my wife. They say for every successful man, there has to be a successful woman behind. And she supported every rough journey to ensure that the road becomes smooth for me to achieve the ladder I wanted to achieve. Alhamdulillah. Thank you all.